year of work went into it, anything from research, to photo shoots, to videoing, to editing, to headline writing, to kind of planning with the clients what the business goals are, and making sure we got all the data aligned. It takes about a year, so there's a lot of planning that goes into it. So as soon as you kind of launch one thing, you're already planning for the next year.
Yes. But again, have fun, do good work, make money, build clients' businesses. We're always trying to do those things. And if we can accomplish 1 or 2 of those a day, that's kind of the goal. All 4 is great. Here is kind of a list of the clients we work on and have worked on. I personally work on Colorado Tourism Office on the left, Innovage on the right, and then Colorado Mountain College, which we live here. And then Camille.
Yeah, so I work on primarily our University of Colorado account, so I'm sure a lot of you have heard of CU and the Buffs. There are also campuses in Colorado Springs and downtown Denver. I mostly spend my time working on the one in downtown Denver and kind of highlighting how it's just as great as Boulder. It's just a little bit different. So we're going to walk you through kind of a few videos about CU Denver and the work we've done for them. Another video we're going to show you a campaign that we recently just launched during one of the Bronco games was Quiznos. So I'm sure everyone's had one of their sandwiches or knows what that place is all about. So that's been a really fun brand for us to work on as well.
And if you haven't, you should. They're tasty, new menu. So here, it's a lot of information. Essentially, this is telling you what we do at our agency. So we do everything, we like to say. We do everything under one roof. So we have an editor who edits TV spots. We have a production team who shoots video. We set up photo shoots. Camille and myself work on the account side. So we work with a client, say Colorado Tourism or CU, and it's they tell us what they want, and we communicate that back to the rest of our team. So whether it's telling the creative we have this much money to create this kind of an ad or commercial or whatever it is, and we need it by this time. And we work with them to make sure we're meeting those deadlines, we're not going over budget, things like that. So always up to you.
We also have a digital team that works on, they build websites for us, they build phone apps for us, and then I think the other thing is everyone wants to be in the creative department. We like to say everyone at the agency is creative in different ways, but the actual creative department is comprised of copywriters, so really focusing on the words of a headline or a TV script or taglines, and then we have art directors that really focus on the visual aspect of campaign.
And then we also have a media department, and their job is kind of placing our different TV spots, print ads, whatever it is, on different media outlets. So whether it's in a newspaper and there's a full page ad, our media team works to kind of negotiate to get us in that specific newspaper at that specific time for this amount of money. Or whether it's, we want our first commercial to launch during a Broncos game. They negotiate getting us during the game for a certain amount of money. So we do everything at our agency, which is pretty cool. Do you want to speak to this?
Yeah, so I think the next slide kind of helps you understand a little bit. When we talk about a brand in a campaign, what we like to say is there's a lot of research that goes into it before we really find a brand's purpose, because a brand isn't just about the product that you sell, it's why a company actually exists. So a lot of times when you see taglines or headlines, it talks a lot more about than just the new iPhones here. You know, Apple always talks about think differently. So they're telling you more about why they as a company exist, and it's to bring big ideas to life. And then underlying, it'll say, oh, and we have a new phone. So we try to do that for all of our clients too, through a variety of processes, a lot of different brainstorms. Like I said, it takes about a year. But what we like to tell clients and kind of remind them is a brand is not about what you sell, it's really what you stand for. So Apple sells iPhones, but it stands for innovation. It's not about what you do, it's why you do it. So Apple builds phones and computers. Why they do it is to inspire people's everyday lives. It's not about the different attributes, so it's not that a phone comes in pink and blue and silver and white. It's about the inspiration that that phone can give you. So every day in your life, your phone gives you access to the world. So it's not about a product, it's about a purpose. So what you're gonna see is we're gonna kind of show you some taglines and some headlines, and the whole idea is it's not about just the product that we're selling, it's really about why the company exists and why you as a consumer care. So I talked a little bit about Apple already, but everyone wants to be Apple. Apple has an amazing brand. It's not just because they have great products, it's also because they inspire really big ideas. So we always, and everyone in advertising and every company in general, always want to make sure that we're kind of thinking differently, thinking of the next big idea, and really inspiring, our client and our consumers to really support us because they believe in our mission.
Any questions before we jump in?
So have you ever competed against another team to represent a company?
Sure, great question. So oftentimes we'll pitch a new business, and it's someone we haven't represented before, and we want to win their business and create all of the cool things for them. So we will do some research and come up with what we think is the best campaign or idea for this company. For example, we just did this with Quiznos. So we came up with an idea that we thought would be great for them. It hit their target market, all the people that we think buy sandwiches. And we pitched it against 3 or 4 other ad agencies who thought they had the best idea. In the end, the client picks who they think has the best idea, can help them out the most, and we won. So it's totally based on what kind of idea you come up with, how much research you put in, and then we hopefully will beat out the other agencies.
I do a lot of new business, and it is very similar to the pitch. We know that you guys saw that. The process is very similar to how that TV show works. We as an agency haven't been a part of it, but that is really a client will say, here's my budget, here's what my product is, and the different ad agencies will come and do presentations. Very similar to kind of, the format that we're doing right now to actually pitch the client, and then you're kind of competing. It's like a team.
Sure. So when you were talking about, it was a few slides earlier, when you were talking about the different parts of your advertising business, you said there was a creative part and the
Media.
all of those. So is one part of this more advanced than another part? So
That's a good question. There's different, everyone has different skills, right? So everyone in this classroom, you'd be really good at one thing or the other. And our agency has different hierarchy levels. So people kind of start at one level and then they kind of get more senior within their department. So I wouldn't say one department has more skill than the other. It's just very different. I'm on the account side because I really like business, and I really like kind of the business, the marketing, the goals, and presentations. And that's a lot of my skill, where the art director I work with has been, we have the exact same experience, but she is obviously really good with visuals. So we kind of partner with sort of right side, left side brain to kind of make the best team possible.
And then also, so Camille is an account supervisor, and I'm what's called an account coordinator. And so we're at different levels. I'm new into advertising, and so I have not acquired the skills that Camille has. And she has this high level strategy thinking, she's thinking of the whole picture, and I'm kind of doing day-to-day getting things in and out. And we all have different skill sets, so we can move up, but that's kind of how, even with an account, you're moving up the ladder, I guess, so to speak. So, very good question. All right, so I'm going to start us off with Colorado. CTO, or Colorado Tourism Office, is one of the clients we represent, and their tagline, as you can see, is "Come to Life." So when we first pitched this idea, the purpose we thought was, when people come and visit Colorado, we want them to feel more alive than they ever have been. It's more than just a vacation, it's kind of an awakening. And so we ended up our client was like, yes, we love that idea, great, let's do that. So we came up with television spots, we came up with print ads, we came up with billboards, all those things. And we marketed to people outside of Colorado to get them to come here. So we picked places like Chicago, based on research, Chicago, Dallas, San Diego, places that are similar maybe in size and have people that are similar to the people that come visit Colorado. So whether they are really active and like hiking, or they make a certain amount of money so they could afford, like those types of things. So we ended up coming up with this Colorado Come to Life, and here is our summer TV spot that we have been running for the past 2 years. Enjoy.
No longer should we wait. Not for the second hand, or the stoplight. Not for the phone to ring, the line to move, or some sign from the sky. Our skin was meant to feel the sun. Our legs were meant to travel. Our eyes were meant to see great things, to photograph them for our memories. We will not wait another day. For waiting is the opposite of living.
So we had a team from Karsh that went out to different locations around Colorado, whether it was a national park or some of the lakes, we had sand dunes, and shot all of these different scenes, and really wanted to capture this idea of, if you come to Colorado and you come to these different places, you will come to life and feel better about any vacation than you've ever taken. So that was our summer campaign video, and here was our winter one. So similar, but a little bit different.
What should we say when the winter comes? We'll get through it. Hunker down. No. Enduring is not living. And winter is not a prelude to spring. Go outside, for the winter is here.
Pretty inspiring, makes you want to come to Colorado if you're not already here, and if not, it makes you want to go outside. So this is the campaign we ran through last summer and this current winter these spots are still playing. That winter spot is. We are just about to launch our new campaign for the summer, which is going to be awesome. And we're doing things like in Chicago, we have a Union Station in downtown Denver. We're taking over Chicago's Union Station. So if you were to go there, everything you would see would be Colorado. And that's a big thing for us because it's a lot of eyes on a lot of different things that say come to Colorado. We're also doing, have you seen those cool like chalk art things?
Yeah.
We're doing one of those in San Francisco, and we're really excited because we've never done something like that. So you can do anything from a traditional TV spot to something so cool. We haven't decided what we're going to do for the chalk art, but it's going to be probably a big picture of one of our national parks or something like that. So it'll be very cool. Yeah.
How do you like pick the actors for these TV spots?
Great question. So these were Colorado natives, or they live here now. I don't know if they're native. But they were either people that we found through an agency here, like a talent agency, or I'm not sure. I know that our new campaign, the photographer had his kids who are in some of the pictures. So all from Colorado, but just we have to go through like a talent agency to find people who can ski well and who know how to hike and dive in the water and things like that. So that's how we found those specific
And who will be in a car with us for 18 hours when we drive to really remote
locations and stay in hotels that could be sketchy.
What, you don't have a jet? A corporate jet?
Not yet. We're working on it. So those two, I wasn't on those shoots. I wasn't here yet. But they were, what I hear, really cool to make. And we're working on shooting our upcoming winter, so I guess next winter, one soon while there's still snow on the ground. So
Yeah.
it's pretty exciting.
You should go to Wolf Creek.
Here's some other examples of just other types of media. So here's in a magazine, here's one of our ads. And the tagline, which a copywriter would work on, says, every sunrise starts a journey. So this would show up in a magazine, a newspaper, any kind of print sort of media. Another example, this would run in the winter, and it just says how sublime it is to be small. So these photos were taken at the same time that our video shoot was taken. Here's another example, out of home. This could be in like a Chicago when you're driving down this road and you're like, oh, that's sweet. I'm gonna check out Colorado.com and see what kind of stuff they have to offer. Another thing we do, since everybody is so obsessed with their phones and the internet and their iPads and computers, is we've gotten really heavy into digital marketing. So in-house, we create digital ads. And a lot of times they're on like the right-hand side of your screen or on Facebook, that right-hand thing that pops up, and it always seems to like know what kind of things you're interested in. So I know mine is a lot of sandwiches, a lot of like things that I tend to go surf the web on. And so this would target somebody who maybe is reading the Huffington Post and says Colorado's 5 most popular day hikes. So we're hoping that we serve that ad enough, or it shows up enough on your whatever phone or iPad or whatever it is, that you click on it and say, cool, I love to hike, I want to book a trip to Colorado and take one of these cool hikes. So that's an example. Some other stuff we did with digital is kind of get into the social realm. So we created a hashtag, it's hashtag Colorado Live, and it's showing real people who are visiting Colorado and taking pictures of these awesome experiences and views, ski lift, playing with their dog, out on hikes, those types of things. And we asked for permission and then took these pictures and advertised them back out to the public, whether on Colorado's Facebook or website or whatever it was. And so it's cool to see other people doing things that you can do when you come visit. There are more pictures. We're really big into skiing. It's America's Best Skiing, trademarked, if you're ever looking at that. So just some numbers for you. With this campaign that you've seen all of these videos and things for every dollar that a visitor spent in Colorado, the state made $361. So that's how much advertising affected tourism over the last year. That was the last year's number. So, I mean, you're thinking everybody comes in, they're gonna spend more than $1. We make $361 for every $1 they spend. Every ad dollar they spend, yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's a lot. That's a really good return. This campaign is also won Best Campaign at one of the Art Directors Award shows, and with the launch of our new one, we're hoping to get more awards. With that, anyone has any questions? Otherwise, we'll get into this.
Sure.
Yeah.
I just want to know what colleges you went to.
Oh, I went to the University of Colorado up in Boulder. So I'm a buff.
I went to a small school in Sioux Falls, South Dakota called Augustana.
I actually majored in PR and marketing. So my, this is a very natural career path that I kind of knew that I wanted to do right after high school. So,
and I knew I wanted to work in advertising, but then I took a detour and worked not in advertising for about 2 years, and came back and realized I love agency life, and so that's what I've been doing for the last year.
but I think one of the questions we had on one of these
Yes.
sheets was about people come from all different degrees into the agency, so you don't have to have a marketing or advertising degree. We have a lot of people who have English degrees, so a lot of our writers have English or literature degrees. We have a lot of fine artist degrees that work on our kind of creative arts side. We have some philosophy majors. We have a lot of business majors, just because that's a really natural, business tie-in too. So really any background, any kind of liberal arts education, kind of well-rounded, you like to use both sides of your brain, kind of works with coming into an ad agency.
So for like your video advertisements, do you guys start with drafts first?
Yeah, so I guess not always, but a lot of times you kind of have this idea of your campaign, and you go on your photo shoot or whatever it is, and you have storyboarded out what you plan to do. So a storyboard is essentially just a big board with like, here's what we're gonna do for the first scene, and here's the second scene, and just images to kind of inspire you. And then you go and shoot all of this footage, and then we bring it back in-house to our editor, who then kind of cuts it based on what we've pitched to the client, saying, we think this would be a great idea for this video. Here's all the footage we have. We're gonna do this, this, and this. And then with all of the footage, they'll shoot hours and hours and hours of footage, and you'll cut it down to like 30 seconds. So that's a lot of footage to cut down, but you have an idea going in, and your first draft might not be exactly correct. You probably isn't ever, but you have a general idea of, for example, we know we want to show these national parks, and we know we want to show these people on a hike. So we're going to look for that kind of footage and kind of get it down to.
I mean, it would be a lot like how you guys have teachers, right? Our clients are graders a little bit. So we'll come with a paper or a script or an ad, and they in a sense grade it, and they say this is what's missing, or this is what we don't like, and then we come back with a revision. Normally between, when you actually start kind of planning to, again, when it is actually a done product, is about, a year. So there's probably, 10 different versions of things before it actually is called finished. And then what we like to do is at the end of the year, do results and awareness and kind of a lot of research and studies to see if it was effective, and then build upon making it better. So then that's another version. So we like to say things are never really final. It's just iteration after iteration of kind of making ideas better and better every time we can.
So yeah, you might bring in a script, and they might say, no, we don't like the tone on this, or we don't like what this is saying, and the copywriter will go back and fix it. But you have an idea of what you're doing going into it, so that you can do all of the other stuff.
Okay, so I'm gonna take you through CU Denver. So it's University of Colorado. It's on the downtown campus, and this is just a little, we call them case studies. And what we would do is actually show this in a pitch, kind of like the show you saw, to really kind of tell clients this is how we approach campaigns. This is the steps we take. This is how we bring things to life. So we're going to kind of show you something that we'd show a client about sort of the agency process and how something kind of comes from an idea all the way to the ad that you would see on a TV.
CU Denver is a different kind of university. Their faculty is respected, their curricula are rigorous, and on their campus, the only place you're likely to see Alpha Sigma Phi is in a civil engineering class. But polls showed that people only vaguely knew about the university, and that needed to change. We needed to tell people that CU Denver students are driven, that the university's programs are top-notch, and that their college bubble has been burst by the real-world opportunities of the Mile High City. In short, we needed to tell business leaders that CU Denver is where students learn with purpose. To capture the mindset of the CU Denver community, we cast real CU Denver students and local beat poets to star in the university's first ever commercials. Then we partnered with director Sean Boyd and composer Sean King to bring the spots to life.
You can see it. It's in your daydreams, your night dreams. It's on the bus and in your morning coffee. It's right there. While the critics focus on what you can't do, you focus on what you can. While it's great to get validation, it's greater not to need it in the first place. So you keep sleeping to dream and dreaming to build. You know that just because it isn't doesn't mean it shouldn't be.
To capture CU Denver's drive online, we created a campaign site that showcases their videos, highlights their faculty and alumni's latest accomplishments, and gives local employers a platform to connect with their top students. We built the site on a WordPress on LAMP platform, so adding and editing stories would be easy. To highlight the academic caliber of the institution, we brought a bold attitude, a sharp wit, and a strong sense of intelligence to all of the brand's print communications. Then we drove the message home with surprising facts about the university. Online, we used some of the latest technologies to showcase the university's intellect, like CSS animations that bring CU Denver's facts to life, and responsive design and full-screen HTML5 video to create an engaging experience on every device. We even made some of our creative assets available for download, so CU Denver students could tout their intellect too. To make sure business leaders knew that CU Denver is in the heart of the city, and to make the best use of our media budget, we covered CU Denver's campus in brand posters, window clings, and wall murals. And we installed an interactive outdoor board along one of Denver's biggest thoroughfares. The message was constructed from nearly 8,000 lapel buttons that students, faculty, and passersby could take with them. We targeted community leaders and business executives by launching the campaign on the first Broncos game of the season. Several local news outlets covered the campaign in its first week, and in only 2 months, nearly 700,000 people had watched our videos online. By the time our campaign concluded, more than 90% of our target market had seen our commercials, and business leaders all over Denver had learned that one of the best schools in the state is right outside their front door.
So for this, we used actually all CU Denver students and professors instead of hiring actors. So what we did is we went on campus and we had a casting call. So we sent an email and we put flyers around and said, we want you to be a part of our TV commercial. Please volunteer. So that's how we got the different actors that you saw in the one commercial, and then we have a video a little bit later. That's how we got that participation. A couple other things we did was in the airport, if you've ever been on one of the trains that go from concourse to concourse, what we did is we put a floor graphic across the entire terminal that had some CU Denver advertising. So the road to success is paved with black and gold are obviously CU's colors. We also, along the platform, did a ton of different photos of real students that paired with different headlines to kind of increase awareness and to get students excited about going to CU Denver. And then this just launched a couple of weeks ago. If it worked for me. One of the light rail trains downtown, we wrapped with an illustrated map of the CU Denver campus. So we have different buildings on CU Denver and then different facts about the university, about the degree programs or how many students we have, how many people graduate each year, and we wrapped the train so anyone downtown or commuting would see our advertisement. And then that video talked a little bit about responsive design, and what that means is we want to make sure anything that we do can scale down to your phone. So videos or print advertisements or websites look just as good on your phone as they do in large format. And this video is a video we just launched. Sometimes videos are a little bit longer than a 30-second commercial. So this one's about 2 minutes. Right now it's running in different theater screens, on YouTube, and some other kind of video mediums to tell a little bit longer of a story about why you'd want to come to CU Denver. And it features real professors, students, and alumni that have graduated from the university.
CU Denver is in the heart of downtown. It sends a message that it's important to understand what you're studying to do with your life, and it allows students to engage with that business community.
You're in this environment where you're around people and you can connect with them and they can use their skills to help make what you're doing better and improve what you're doing and create something that you're really proud of.
If it wasn't for those experiences, you wouldn't know what you wanted to do, what you pursue in the future.
I have students who come from 6 or 7 different countries
natively speak 3 or 4 different languages, exploring the same kinds of questions. All of that thinking is happening right here in the middle of the city.
Every class period was like we just wanted to, engage with each other and share about ourselves, and we became like a little community.
It's like home away from home, I guess.
There's a nice mix between pushing you and challenging you, and at the same time building you up and your confidence. I think when you have people who do that for you, you start to see your true capacity.
Learn with purpose for me means to beat statistics. As a first generation student in a household with a single parent and be told that you can't succeed, and then here you are graduating from college.
I know that at the end of the day, I'm leaving with so much knowledge that's going to help me move forward in achieving my dreams.
It's one thing to sit in a classroom and just get information, but it's like, so what? What are you going to do with that information? How are you going to use it to positively impact the world?
Any questions about CU before we move on to Quiznos? No? Like we said, Quiznos is a recent client. It's actually one that we just won the account about 6 months ago. So this spot was actually very fast. We won the account and then it launched about 5 months later. So we're really excited about it. I'm going to show you one of the TV commercials and then we can talk a little bit about kind of the research that went into it.
And some of our best sandwiches have better ingredients and new recipes. So why not new marketing ideas? Like skin advertising.
Listos. Hitos. Quiznos!
Wow. They just show the new sandwiches.
Quiznos is reinventing deliciousness. Come in and try our new menu complete with better ingredients and better sandwiches. It's love at first bite, or it's on us.
Live toasty, eat toasty, Quiznos.
So a lot of what the commercial said was really their problem. They had a new menu, they had new toaster technology, which is funny, right? It's just a toaster. But they had new toaster technology and a new menu, so they needed new marketing. So they submitted an RFP, which is called a request for proposal, to different ad agencies. So we were one of 4 agencies that came with concepts of saying, you need new marketing, here's what we want to do. What you can see is this is very different. It's a very different kind of humor and look and feel than we did for the university or CTO. And that was really obviously by design. We did a lot of research. What we did is we know that most of the clients that eat Subway sandwiches are males between 25 and 35. So we brought in a behavioral consumerist. We did a lot of research about what kind of humor males think is funny, what sort of attributes that they would like to know. We knew, we heard that people, if they didn't like their sandwiches, they wanted their money back. So what we saw at the end of that commercial was people saying, if you don't like your sandwich, you can get your money back. So we knew that that resonated with our target audience. So that was part of the play of, come in, give us a try. If you don't like it, no harm, you'll give your money back. Quiznos was so confident that people would really like their sandwiches. We also used a male in the voiceover because we know that males between 25 and 35 more often resonate with male type voices. So someone in the last class asked if it was the same voiceover that Subway has. It's not, but Subway also is a sandwich company that would have the same consumer audience. So it's that idea of repetition of how you would kind of communicate to that audience for them to remember Quiznos and any kind of sandwiches. Yeah.
So when we watched the pitch, it was super dramatic, like Kim Kardashian dramatic. And there was one advertising company sitting there, and then the other one walked in, and they were like, "What?" So is that how it is when you guys walk in and you see it 3 other advertising businesses?
Well, that's TV. So I would say it's not that dramatic, but it can be very awkward. Normally clients are very respectful about making sure that the one agency's gone before another one would come, kind of making sure that there would be, a break in between. But I actually have done a lot of new business, and I oftentimes see the other agency coming in when you go out. Denver's also a really small population, so we have a lot of people who used to work at Karsh that are now at other agencies or came from other agencies to Karsh. We do a lot of industry events together, so sometimes it's a little funny. Like I had a very, very good friend that I knew was coming in to pitch kind of against me or against our team. So that happens a lot, and you just kind of laugh about it, and it's just, really the best idea should win, and that's kind of how we have to look at it. Sure.
Have you ever had like a campaign, I guess, where you don't have another ad agency to fight against or to try to beat?
Yeah, it depends. Sometimes we do have clients that just know our owners or have worked with one of us in the past that'll say, hey, I have a project, I really want your agency to do it. But even in that case, what we'll do is we'll put different teams on a project. We always bring clients, we say there's kind of a magic in 3. We always bring clients 3 ideas. One that they can kind of get rid of immediately, and then we're always kind of left with 2 that really can kind of be refined from there. So in a sense, it's always, you're always kind of presenting multiple different things for clients to react to make sure you're bringing them your best thinking. Okay, and then the only other thing I was going to show you about Quiznos is we developed a phone app for them for their new menu, so people can actually order their sandwiches online, and then once they order their sandwiches online, there was it's called a Toasty tracker, and it was really just a map of kind of telling you when your sandwich was going to be ready, and then driving instructions to get you to that Quiznos location to get your sandwich. This is not ready yet, but it's coming soon. Toasty! Just funny little things. And that's all for our presentation, but I think we have some time for other questions that you guys have too. Yeah.
So